Welcome to yet another exciting episode of Lastro Club podcast. This is your host, Vittal Mane, founder of Lastro Club, a wonderful human being at heart, with humanity as my religion and one nation as my nationality. I'm a career analyst, content creator, a lifestyle coach, and a branding strategist. On this podcast, from solo to interactive sessions, each episode aims to empower you and guide you with actionable strategies and tips for your personal growth and building your stronger inner world. लास्टो क्लब को सुनते रहना मतलब जिंदगी से जुड़े रहना. फोकस फोकस फोकस. अरे भाई फोकस कहाँ है तुम्हारा? Can you really focus and do these things? How many of you came across such statements and conversations in your life? Now, in this podcast, you're going to learn how exactly focus plays a very crucial role in moving you closer and faster towards your success. And before even I start talking about focus, let me tell you that this podcast is also inspired by one of the book, which is The Power of Focus, authored by Jack Canfield, Mark Victor Hansen, and Les Hewitt. And this is one of the wonderful book which will give you a lot of insightful information around the focus. And I highly recommend that you should read this book at least once to understand the power of focus. Now, I'm sure even if you are randomly listening to this podcast very first time on our Last Stroke Club podcast episodes, then for your information, note that this particular episode is a series of talks which I am recording for my 7-step success blueprint, and this is a 4th step in the journey of success. And I have already discuss about the first step, which is on finding your emotional why. Second step on finding your right mentor or a coach of your life. And third step was power of association. And even inside the fourth step, I have already discussed about the emptying your cup. How if you remain a student of your life, how this can really help you achieve your success more faster and more efficiently. So I'm sure while you listen to this podcast, you will be really interested to learn about the earlier steps as well. And I welcome you to go back and listen to my earlier episodes as well after listening to this step on how a focus plays a crucial role in moving you closer and faster towards your success. So let's get started. Now, this podcast is divided in 2 segments, so that you understand it better. In the first segment, I'm talking about why focus is a very crucial role player. And in the second segment, you will understand those few tips and strategies how you can also practically work on increasing your focus so as to achieve your desired results. And I'm sure this will really help you not just to learn but also to implement in your life as well. Now let us understand why focus is crucial role player. Now, few thoughts which while reading that book came to my understanding and learnings, and which I also picked up and implemented in my life are: you must invest most of your time in doing what you do the best and let others do what they do the best. When you focus most of your time and energy doing things you are truly brilliant at, you actually reap big rewards in your life. Now look at every sportsman or every athlete spends most of their time focusing on their strengths, the things they are naturally good at, and very little time they would spend on unproductive activities. And you'd see them practice more often, several hours every day or even days together, improving their skills. Simply looking at, can you imagine a cricket batsman or a bowler focusing on anything other than the ball and the wicket while they are playing in the field? Is it possible for a driver to focus on something else other than the road ahead while he is driving? Or is it possible for a ship's captain to focus on something else other than navigating the ship? And if you agree, then my question to you is, if you are the captain of your life ship, and if you want to drive your life towards your goals and success, then you also need to remain focused on the actions and the priorities which will definitely take you closer and faster towards your success. Then, in that case, how can you really deviate or defocus from those goals and from those actions? And here comes a myth which normally I have seen most of the time you would come across in a corporate culture is a multitasking. And now multitasking is a real myth. And it's even a true which has proven practically that when you do one thing at a time and then you finish and start second activity, that is how actually you do it efficiently rather than doing multiple things at once. And most of the time this kind of multitasking is promoted while you're working, and that is what is actually demanded also, that you need to perform doing multiple things at once, which is actually hampering your speed and your achievement of those results within that time frame. You are eventually wasting your time if you're multitasking and are involved in unfocused actions consistently. And it is very important to note that time is the most valuable asset in your life, because time once gone doesn't come back. Look at money. Once you spend that money, you can earn back that money. But time once spent doesn't come back in your life. So it's always a wiser decision that you invest your time precisely for the actions which are really driving you closer to your results. Hope we are together as of now. And in this first segment, you really understood why focus is a very crucial role player in your life and how it is important for you to remain focused in navigating your life ship towards the desired results and the outcome of your journey. Now let us move towards the second segment of this podcast. And it is very important for you to listen to all these tips and strategies, because you can really implement this in your life for remain focused and increasing your efficiency of the outcomes and results in your journey as well. So this is very important that you must understand how to remain focused on the activities which are driving you towards your ultimate success or the results what you're looking for, and avoid spending time on those activities which are not really aligned with your outcomes. It is vital that you effectively separate all those activities called urgent tasks from your most of the important tasks. Instead of putting everything comes to you as to do it now, learn to prioritize these activities. And here comes the first tip or the first strategy which you can really implement in segregating daily activities or while you're planning your goals in your life, and use this formula called as a 4D formula. 4D formula will really help you solve your focus issues at a larger scale. So in this 4D formula, first D stands for dumping it, meaning in your daily activities there are many things which you can actually avoid doing it, which are really not necessary that you should do it, and you can really dump those activities. And you need to, while you are segregating the priorities, you need to identify them and keep them aside. That is your first D. The second D is delegating it. It means that when you list out your activities and start sorting out from your to-do list, you will able to identify some of the activities which you may not do it yourself, and you can really delegate it to someone else, and he or she also, if they perform those activities, that is absolutely fine. In such cases, the second most step while segregating your activities is to delegate it. So out of the list, whatever activities you can delegate, you must delegate them to others. Now, third D from this 4D formula is delaying it. It means that in the list of activities, you can also able to identify that there are some activities which are not important or not urgent, and you can always delay them, and you need not do it today itself or now itself. You need to identify such activities and keep them aside and plan it days ahead, so that it doesn't pops up to you that you need to act on them now itself. So such activities you can always mark to delay them. And now the fourth D is do it. And this is where is important for you to understand that these are the important activities on your list which you need to act right now. And these are the activities which you need to do it now. So start highlighting such activities in your list as a topmost priority, and make sure that you take immediate action on them and start working on them. And don't ever try to make any excuses or give reasoning that why you should avoid or procrastinate such things. So these are the most important activities which should be on the topmost priority, and you should start taking action on it. So this is called as a 4D formula. So just to again reconcile these things, first D is dump it, meaning the things which you can really avoid, just keep them aside or just delete them from the list. Second is delegate it. It means that whatever you can really assign to others, just delegate them to others. Third D is delayed. Whatever activities you can really delay, postpone, that means those activities are not important, you can always delay them. And the fourth and most important is do it now. So the things which are really important for your progress, those will fall under this fourth category. So I'm sure this 4D formula will help you to understand the right priorities of activities in your life, and you will be able to sort them, and it will really help you to take action on the right things in your life, which will really help you move closer and faster towards your outcome. As a coach inside the Last Stroke Club community, I have actually coached all my clients in all the batches on all the techniques of time management. And inside the time management, I have always used this 4D formula, help them understand prioritizing the things in their to-do list. And I have really got a brilliant feedback from each and every of my client that they found huge difference in how their ability has improved in understanding the most important things and taking action on them. And they started seeing change in their results. And that is how it helps me to endorse that this is one of the most important strategy which you should implement for setting up priorities and increasing your focus for your desired results of your life. And note down these some of the powerful statements around priority. So it says that you can actually write down this if you really want to endorse this in your memory. Priority decides your choices. Your choices decides your actions. Your actions decides your results. And your results decides your destiny. And that is how setting up right priority is the most crucial aspect in your journey towards your success. So I highly recommend that start setting your right priorities using this 4D formula, and I'm sure you will definitely come back to me with your feedback that you also started seeing results or changed results towards your success. Now let's move towards the second important tool which will help you to remain focused or increase your focus towards your desired outcome of your life. And that is, start saying no to things which are drifting you away from your results. Always ask yourself, whatever you are doing, maybe right now or in future, ask yourself that are those activities are really helping you to drive towards your goals? And in that case, you must learn to say no to yourself first, say no to others, and say no to your mobile and phone calls. And here you might feel that I'm talking about some weird thing. How come a mobile or a phone call can be a distraction? But it's a fact that in today's generation, the technology, maybe it is useful, of course, but sometimes this has really drifted focus to a large scale, and that's the truth. Because one message pops in your mobile, and when you start reading that message, and that message goes from one link to other and other link to another link, and you actually get distracted from where you were focused and doing something, and when you open that message, you actually get defocused from what you're doing. And to bring back your focus again to that activity, it actually requires some time. And that is how I have given here the third and most important activity which you should avoid or which you should say no is to your mobile and your phone calls. If someone were to ask me which of my most essential habit which has helped me succeed in my life to the point where I am today, I would definitely endorse that it is my focus. Because I remember while I was working in a corporate job, I would have said no to many distractions that would have kept me away from meeting my weekly goals. I turned down many weekend parties and activities in favor of learning something new and spending time with my masterminds, sharpening my skills to handle those situations wisely. And this is something extreme, but you won't believe that when I would tell you that I had never given my WhatsApp number to anyone in my office or even my boss and my clients, because I used to feel that the mobile phones were the most dangerous distractions in today's environment. And therefore, I avoided using WhatsApp for the work related communications and I always kept them on emails. And this, in reality, helped me stay focused and perform more efficiently in all my job related activities, though many did not like my approach in those days. But I'm really happy that because of saying no to those mobiles and those communications, I was really efficient in whatever I'm doing, and where I could really avoid spending extra hours in doing same things which actually others would have spent more time in performing those activities. Now let us move towards the third and the most important tip in increasing your focus, and that is to plan your day, plan your week, plan your month, and plan your year ahead of time. Planning is the most essential skill which can really help you remain focused on your goals and the desired results of your life. You must write down all your daily to-do list and assess your efficiency on a daily basis or a weekly basis to understand that how efficient are you in achieving what you are really including in your to-do list and the activities which you really want to finish in that particular time frame. And make sure that you are improving your efficiency consistently. And this is what exactly I also coach inside the Last Stroke Club Communities program, where I also share some of the unique digital tools and the strategy which help you to write down the to-do list and really plan your activities ahead of your time. And all my Last Stroke Clubs program have really helped my clients in increasing their efficiency and meeting their goals of life. So I'm sure we are together as of now, and you are really finding useful while you are listening to this podcast so far. You must have noted down, and I'm sure you must implement the 4D formula to set your priorities right. I really wish that you should start practicing saying no to all those distractions which are keeping you away from your desired results, and start planning your day. That is what is very, very important. And if you're really serious and want to learn more on the digital tools and the strategies what I really coach inside the Lastro community, you're most welcome to join us. Go to lastroclub.com and you can register from there, and you'll be part of my masterminds and the courses which I keep announcing on my email community. If you have stayed so far in this podcast, then it's time to respond our podcast question. Now, today I want to ask you, out of all the tips and strategies what I've shared you in this podcast, please let me know which is that one, at least one strategy which you are looking forward to implement in your life. And if you have already implemented, then let me know how could that actually improve your efficiency towards your success. So drop your response on our website lastroclub.com inside the podcast episode, and I'll pick the most exciting response at random to announce the winners on our next episode. I'll keep announcing the winners on the following podcast once I start receiving the responses. आपको हमारा ये एपिसोड कैसा लगा ज़रूर बताइए. Go to lastroclub.com and drop your feedback there. Before I leave, as I always say, let's create a beautiful legacy of a great mankind with only religion as a humanity and single nation with no boundaries. Signing off for now, this is your host, Vittal Mane. We'll talk to you next week with fresh and high vibrating thoughts. Until then, take care, stay safe and healthy, and do keep listening to Lastro Club.